Okay, autism parents ask me this all the time. My child is touching themselves. What do I do? Yeah, and we're talking about not your normal self injurious behavior, SIB, not scratching their arm or lifting a shirt. This is really legit touching themselves in these private areas, and then things happen. You know what I'm talking about, okay? They're coming to that age and it's happening and you just don't know what to do. So I'm so glad that you're here because we're going to go over why it's happening and also how to properly handle it. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Melissa. I'm a board certified behavior analyst and I specialize in helping families go from survival mode to true happiness and peace. I teach at the collegiate level. I am crisis management trained, and I just love what I do. I've been doing it for many, many years. I'm so grateful to have helped hundreds of families, particularly with this behavior. Okay, so listen close. I have a couple things that you're going to want to write down. Let me write my notes. Okay, first of all, I hope you know this, and if not, that's okay. We're all learning. Your child, regardless of a diagnosis they may have, is human. So in their body, this is normal. That is what we're doing here, right? We're here to procreate. That's what our bodies do. It's all about the S word, right? You know what I mean? They might see it differently. They might just be exploring their bodies, okay? And I'll go into that in a little bit. But the fact is, it is human nature. So there's a couple different ways that this comes up. One way that I've seen many, many times is in young ages, like pre-K and kindergarten, 4 and 5 years old. They are discovering themselves and they're just touching and they're like, this thing is flabby. This feels weird. This is down here. This is new. I never noticed it. And they're frequently touching in those areas. And quite honestly, a lot of the time, they just are doing it everywhere because they're not even thinking of what they're doing. They're just doing it because why not? It's new. It's there. Feels good maybe. But they're not getting any kind of production from it possibly. They're just having their hands there. They're discovering their body simply, okay? I've seen this many, many times, okay? But more often what this video is about and what situations come up is that they are coming of the age that when you touch down there, things happen. And you're learning, when I touch this way, it feels like this. When I touch that way, it feels like that. I know that this is a sticky topic, by the way, so thanks for hanging in there. But this stuff is seriously so important to talk about. So I'm glad I'm here with you talking it through. So here again is a big fact. That discovery is happening sooner than we want it to. Kids, especially your neurotypical, kids that are in general education and don't necessarily have a diagnosis, are learning about this stuff very early. I'd say around 3rd grade, 4th grade, definitely 5th grade, for sure 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, middle school. So, what do we do? When should we start talking about this? What should we even say? Write this down. First, try to catch it before they learn it somewhere else. What happens a lot of the time is that they do find things out mostly through the internet, sometimes through their friends at school, or even they might see something at home. Very young eyes. They remember this stuff too. Even if they don't tell you, even if they don't seem to have an expression about it, it's new, it's weird to them, it's why are they doing that, and why am I hearing that, and why is this one like this, and it's just a whole new world to them that they are thinking about, right? So They are discovering this stuff early, and you've got to do your best to kind of catch it and tell them the stuff you want them to know to keep them safe. Of course, do not tell them everything all at once. Their little minds can't handle it all. As they grow older, give them more information. But I'm sure by high school, they're knowing a lot. And especially with the internet out there, they know a lot. All right? So let's think about specifically the kids with autism who may be nonverbal, may be learning just how to communicate, how to even request wants and needs, but yet they're doing this behavior that's pretty advanced, right? What's going on? These things don't match up. So we already know the facts. The facts. They are this age, let's say 10 years old. You notice that they are doing it even when you're around, and they're just noticing themselves and it's happening, and you're telling them to stop, but then they're not. They keep going back and forth and they're doing it, and like nothing's working, and this is scary for you. What's going on? What do I do? So there are many tools, even with nonverbal kiddos, that I have personally used that have been very effective. Visual supports and social stories, first of all, to kind of explain to them about their body. Now, these visuals sometimes can be explicit. I'd say it's based on your comfort level as a parent, but also realistically what the child needs to know. There have been visual supports that have all the little fixins in there, and then there's been some, stick figure pictures that have been very basic. But what's happening is, with these visual supports, we're getting the main point across. And what we're trying to convey is this. You've got a body. We've all got a body. We all got this stuff. We know it's there. We know you now know about it. Now, here's what you don't know that you need to know. First, time and place. It's really helpful if you kind of call this activity a name. You can call it me time. You could call it private time. Something along those lines, right? Some kind of name that is only for that activity, okay? So you'll teach a name, you'll give it a name, and then you let them know when and where they can do it. So you might say, okay, you can only do this 2 times a day. And you must be in your bedroom with the door closed, and I'm setting a 15-minute timer. And that's going to be uncomfortable for you. Moms, dads, aunties, grandparents who love these kids to death, and they're your little babies. And how can you fathom and think that they are doing this thing to their body? That how did they even discover this? Nobody's taught them this, right? It's just their body. They're learning. They're growing up. And I will tell you from personal experience, if you try to just tell them to stop, they're going to do it. They're going to find a way. And it might be when they're falling asleep and nobody's there, and it might very well be in the car when everyone's there, because they're not discriminating. They're like, I have to get this out. I'm feeling it. This is enjoyable. I'm going to do it right here and now. So I do not recommend that you completely say, no, we are not doing this, because it is human nature, once again, and most of the time they're going to find a way to do it. There's no time when somebody is under 24/7 supervision, and it's not appropriate to hold their hands down and restrain them from exploring and touching and figuring out what's going on with their body, okay? So therefore, though, teaching them time and place of when to do this. This is, first of all, private time. That means no one is around. No one. Okay? Now, I personally like to tell parents and guide them to teach their children to do it in your bedroom. Couple reasons why. Excuse me. The bedroom is a place that's kind of more neutral, It has their clothes in there, it might have some toys, might have a TV, obviously their bed. It's a chill place, right? It's a place where you hang out. So it's multi-purpose, right? I have experienced in the past some clinicians and teachers and family members be like, okay, only in the bathroom. But here's the problem with that. There are bathrooms everywhere in this world, right? There's bathrooms on an airplane. There's bathrooms in other countries. There's bathrooms at school. So if they learn, okay, cool, I could do this in the bathroom, that means that they might be doing this anywhere in the bathroom. And also, there are public bathrooms. We don't want them doing this in like a stall and then there's somebody in the stall next to them. Like, no, 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 no. But their bedroom is the place that really only they will go. They might share the bedroom with a sibling, so you would have to teach them to appropriately like wait until that sibling is not there, or to ask them like, hey dude, can I have the space for 30 minutes? A little awkward, but the point is it's going to be private. All right, so I recommend that you teach them using visual supports and frequent conversation. Like, it's got to be daily. It's going to be uncomfortable, but this is kind of like a birds and the bees conversation, right? Which you'll get to, but usually this starts first. They are discovering their own body and how it feels to touch in this capacity, to do it like this, to do it like that. So teaching them to do it probably in their bedroom, and then not all day long, because I have seen that too. There is data that I have collected on this with many of children with developmental disabilities that don't even realize what they're doing. They're just having a ball, and they're doing it like every chance they get, which is like 100 times a day. And you can't. We're eating dinner. It's homework time. We're walking from the car inside. Like, what are you doing? No. You get 2 times a day or 1 time a day. And it's in your bedroom, door closed, no one's coming in, setting a timer for 15 minutes, you're done. And you're going to have to learn self-control. Us adults have learned it. We have to. We go out in the community, we might be feeling it. We're not actually touching it, we're not doing it. No way. That's a whole nother ball game. That's something you really need to have a conversation with your kids about, if they can understand that capacity, that you could get in big trouble if you try to do this out in public. Absolutely not. Okay, but we're going to start small, baby steps with kids with developmental disabilities who might cognitively be at a kindergarten age, but they are the size of an adult and they are at this age, but they need full prompting and are very rarely independent with a lot of things. You still have to teach this behavior and how to do it the safe way, which is going to be in their bedroom, in private, only once or twice, 3 times a day tops, okay? So within these visual supports, you are also going to teach the no's of this whole thing, right? No doing it in public, no doing it in the bathroom, just no touching. You're not allowed to touch yourself there. You're just not. You're not in your bedroom alone with the door closed. Can't do it. Also, I have had experience with teaching children, like let's say we've titled this private time. We have said to them, okay, you can do it 1 time at night. You just let us know when, so that we can make sure we give you that private time. And then they are taught to tell their parents, like, hey, I want some private time, please. And what's really important about that is that the parents respect their private time. This is teaching your children that they have a voice, that they can ask for privacy. Super duper important, okay? We want them to know that they can advocate for themselves. A lot of our children with developmental disabilities end up, let's say, in like group homes. You want to make sure that they know that their voice is valid and they can ask for privacy, and they should get it, and they should know what that looks like. My door is closed and locked. I'm in the room by myself and I am safe. And therefore, I can do this activity that is pleasurable and enjoyable to me without anyone being around. And there is my prompt to be done. It's the train horn. So thank you so much for listening. If you feel this and you would like me to get you some of the visual supports that I discussed, comment with a send. You could also hit like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Follow me on social, and I'm going to record more videos.